Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Nextlander podcast. Here we are, end of August. We are here to close it out. Maybe my least favorite month here on the East Coast. Alex Navarro, how you doing?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
You know why I don't think it's my least favorite month?
Why?
Because August on the West Coast is so much worse than it is out here. I think
really?
July is my least favorite month here.
Okay.
You get that late summer in California and the West Coast. That's when the death heat comes in.
Oh, yeah. Brad, how's the death heat in San Francisco?
It's starting up as of like yesterday.
Oh, yeah? It got hot?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Look, Backlord made fun of me and said, what did he say on the Never Been a Better podcast? Said, I and his mother-in-law are the only people that constantly talk about the weather every time we get together. But
you're a dad of a certain age. Like, it just comes with the territory.
Can add my dad to that rotation.
Look,
yeah.
It's just a highly reliable old guy topic of conversation.
It's hot sometimes. It's really pleasant right now, actually.
You know why I don't mind it? Why it doesn't bother me? Why I don't find it too mundane to deal with? Because the weather is something that happens to everyone.
It does happen.
And it's an immediate touch point. It's a thing you can sort of pivot other conversations off of.
Universally
I understand
relatable.
why it is.
Yeah. Yes. I was just thinking back on the way in here. I had an encounter, and look, the people who are working on my house, I like them. I think they're great. There's a crew. There's a couple of guys who are working.
You know, the more you say that, the less I believe you.
Yeah, you should. No, they're fantastic. But there's some people doing some stuff that are new here, and I always go back and forth. Like I know not a lot of Spanish, but I know some Spanish, right? And
you know a little Peggy Hill Spanish.
I know, but I know just enough to be dangerous, to get myself in trouble. And you know, the people who work on my house, their English is better than my Spanish generally.
Right.
But there was a guy working on there. I walked outside and I was like, "Hey, do you need water or something?" He was like finishing up his lunch. Can I get you any water or anything like that? And he took a second, and he went, "Very good, sir." And I was like, "Oh shit, that is neither a yes nor a no." And so I was I racing in my brain. I was like, "Okay, I think at this point, I don't know if his English is as good as my Spanish, but I'm not going to try and bust out my Spanish here to ask for water." So I did the universal thing that every human I have ever encountered, if there's any language barrier, understands. Put up a thumbs up and said, "You're all good?" Mm-hmm. And he would thumbs back up and said, "All good."
All right.
And we went on our way. So I hope I have not just, that guy is not waiting for
no
something.
habla por favor.
Yeah, right. See, I am such a nervous second language speaker.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm sitting here going through my mind every time I have attempted to speak German or Japanese to somebody in those respective countries.
Right. And it's like, that's probably, Alex, all it would have taken, right?
Yeah.
And like, would have been like cool. But I'm like the wheels grind up the gears. It's like lock up in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not yours. That's why. It's not your language. You feel like you're butchering it.
Yeah.
Even if you're not, you feel like you're butchering it. And so it just, even basic things, you just get very nervous about.
So the thumbs up, hopefully the thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
Very like Metal Gear, thumbs up. There's got to be a culture where that is insulting, right? Like a thumbs up is like some horrible.
Probably.
Yeah, there's got to be somewhere.
There's
yeah, Latin American.
What is that? Is that actually a thing? Okay. There's a video going around right now of an influencer in, I think, Turkey giving a peace sign, which apparently is extremely not okay there.
Okay.
Because it means something completely different.
Okay. Yeah.
For example,
gotta be careful sometimes. I put my faith in the thumbs up.
I mean, that's to say nothing of, for instance, like the various Britishisms that, let's just say, you wouldn't want to say here. It's just wherever you are, something you're going to say or do ain't going to mean what you think it does.
That's why I just keep my mouth shut. Just keep my mouth shut.
Never talk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of keeping my mouth shut, we got to do this podcast, but I'll tell you where I would like to be.
Donde está la podcasta?
Okay, now you're just showing off.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Okay.
That is the grand scheme of what I know in terms of foreign languages. That's it. Whole spread.
Okay.
I once asked a cleaning lady in Japan who came to clean my room. Give me 5 minutes, please.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did it work?
I said, I mean, she got it, but I also think I said it in the most like honorific way humanly possible, which is like probably like an actual violation of cultural norms to say it that way. I'm not sure.
I've gotten the vibe that when it comes to speaking to people who are not native Japanese speakers, there is a certain expectation sometimes that you will get the formal version from the non-speaker because that's what they've learned.
Because that's absolutely how it was taught.
Yeah.
Like they absolutely started off with all of the most like formal everything for sure.
Like no one is expecting you to know like specific Tokyo-isms or Osaka-isms or, you know, specific like slang terms.
Yeah, well, it's more that it's just an incredibly stratified language and culture in terms of honor. So like social station is absolutely the dictating factor in how you talk to somebody.
That said, I would probably rather learn that than try to figure out the tones of Chinese, because every time I do, apparently I get it wrong. That's what I've learned from my partner, is that no matter how many times I try to modulate to learn to speak any kind of Chinese word, she's like, nah, you didn't get it.
I mean, look, intonation is like, intone languages are a whole other
Tone
thing,
languages
right?
are beyond me. I can tell you that.
I must have mentioned on here a bunch that I think one of the trips where I was running around asking people where Naruto Airport was. Just keep my mouth shut. Yeah. Just shut
you have to put your arms behind you and run really fast.
And then you will take off.
Do you remember trying to ask about dessert in Germany that time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where was that? Was that in Leipzig?
What was it? Noctiche? What was
Noctiche is the thing you kept asking about, and she had no idea what you're talking about. No, it wasn't me.
I think it was Homer. I think somebody else said it. I did not say it.
I'm pretty sure I could have sworn.
Stop it. No, it wasn't me.
All right, okay.
See, whenever I went to Germany, which is only a couple times, but every time I went to Germany, I had Eric Pope with me, and that is the secret weapon for German.
Oh, that's right. He does speak like fluent
very
German,
good German.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, speaking of keeping my mouth shut,
I'm looking at it right here. This says it means dessert.
It means dessert.
Maybe maybe it was a regional thing.
Well, I'll get you some dessert.
Maybe she was just fucking with you.
Maybe you accidentally asked for a night of efficient German sex.
Very efficient. I paused Shinobi at a part that I have spent an hour on.
Okay, now say that in German.
It's just one long word. That is actually just one long word. It is the second longest word in German. For I paused Shinobi at a part I've spent an hour on. All I can think about is going back to this one part and just finishing this ridiculous platforming level. Shinobi, Art of Vengeance,
kicks fucking ass.
I think that game I really, really like. I don't know. I didn't really look up how it's reviewing yet.
Extremely well.
Okay. I saw one thing because I was stuck and I was like, man, I'm trying to 100% on these levels, but it's like just come out. So I didn't see a lot of guides for like, there's collectibles in it. We'll get to that in a second. But as I was scrolling through the pages, I saw something that was like a 7 out of 10. And I was like, what? And I was like, what?
You know that means good, right?
But this is a great game.
I mean, yes, but not everyone is going to feel exactly the same way you do about it.
That's okay.
This game is some baller shit, is what occurred to me as I was playing it. Like, just the way it moves and looks and the amount of style it has and the fluidity of the combat.
It's a game.
Feels badass.
So I think my top level is they do the ninja thing where they just make being a ninja cool. They just want you to feel cool. It's one of those games where I love the art style so much, I'm afraid that I'm almost willing into existence that something horrible news is going to come my way. Like, oh, did you know this is all 100% AI generated?
No.
Or did you know this artist was canceled like 500 times?
The studio has been doing this style of art for way longer than Image Generation has been out there.
They made Streets of Rage 4, which is also great.
Yeah.
The stuff that is supposed to be animated, everything animates like almost in that oh my gosh, Blaze Blue, who am I thinking of, the developer?
Arxis.
Yeah, like that Arxis, like hyper animated way, like exaggerated moves. All the laser beams that fire up have little particles before they shoot, and
it all just feels like it has more frames than most of the animation you see in video games.
There are a lot of frames of animation in this game, but it also plays incredibly well. Like, it's not just animation. Like, the combat's really responsive, incredibly fluid.
Thunky.
Like the way funky, like it both thunks and flows.
Yeah.
Like, it flows into the next thunk, and then the thunk does not thunk for too long before it starts flowing again. You know what I mean? Like
can't deny the thunk on a nasty flow.
Sure.
Yeah.
You never fake the
like
funk
that.
on a nasty thunk.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like the way that you like roll, you like out of a roll into a knee, and then you can hit somebody, and then like jump out of that hit into a whirling helicopter slash into another launcher. Like it just the moves all just connect so well.
Okay. I just want to give it to them. It's like this is a well-worn phrase, but they really understood the assignment, right? Like it is stupid ass Joe Musashi coming in as the world's greatest ninja / shinobi in a world full of demons, megacorps, tech. What is this called? Enicorp? E-N-E?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in English, don't they?
Eni. They say Eni. I keep saying Eni.
Do they say it that way in English? I thought they said ENE Corp in English.
I think they say ENE Corp.
I spent about 30 seconds in English and then changed it to Japanese because I did not think the English VO was very good.
It's completely serviceable, but that's it.
It seems to fit the style of the thing because really...
Like there's an anime adaptation?
Because there are a lot of characters that are talking, and then there's Joe. Joe's entire... It just goes...
Oh, is that what you meant when you asked me a couple days ago if I had gotten to the part where Joe talks, and I keep waiting for that? I was like, is there going to be some big reveal where he actually talks?
No. It's just that
you just meant...
Joe, the village is burned down. What should we do?
Like
I hear you, Joe.
Every single line of his dialogue is just ellipses. Like it's literally ... and he goes, oh.
And just like different flavors of,
Oh, okay. So I was waiting for some big moment where he actually finally says something.
No, it's just that, and they respond to him when he does that. But like, yeah, Joe, we really need to. Okay, Joe. He's a ridiculous character, and in a ridiculous world where he has awesome ninja moves. Like, I've just about 100%ed everything that I could 100% at this point. I think I'm nearing the last level, or I'm on the last level, but the map looks like it has one more stage.
Hang on. You mean you've 100%ed each level individually? Damn.
That's really something, because I have definitely not gotten that far.
That feels like a lot of backtracking.
I'm about 12 hours in. There's definitely backtracking because there are Metroidvania-like elements in. It's not a Metroidvania per se, but there are Metroidvania-like elements.
Yes, like when I played at Summer Game Fest, they kind of jumped us around saves. I didn't get to like pop in and out of levels like I wanted to. It was kind of more bite-sized demo. It was mostly focused on the action. I did not realize at that time how much like the game is not a Metroidvania, but within each level, the levels are big enough and interconnected enough that each level sort of feels like a little mini-vania.
Yeah.
Sort of.
But they're so generous. They mark the map very well. They color code the map in ways that are like, hey, this purple part, I think it's purple.
It's really smartly designed. Is that what
the purple is? The purple is just like, hey, you don't have the thing you need to go here.
No, purple is a secret area. Purple,
okay.
Yeah.
Purple is a secret area. I think gold.
And sometimes you don't have the thing that you need to get to that secret area right away.
But they'll usually mark it, at least the walls, they'll mark the breakable walls. They'll mark some stuff they get later on for other power-ups they don't mark. But the purple area usually is where there's going to be a secret or a hidden thing. And then there's fast travel at pretty good locations within the map.
So I haven't tried popping back into a level after I finished it yet. Can you just warp between checkpoints as soon as you go back in?
You don't even have to go back in. You can warp between checkpoints in the level.
Just from the... But I mean after you come back though.
But you definitely can, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can actually just exit back to the map as soon as you got the thing you want. So if you want to pop into a level, load in at a checkpoint, grab a thing, and then load back to the map. It's very fast. The load times are also extremely fast, at least on the PS5 version I'm playing.
I mean, it seems worthwhile because they gate all the moves behind. You need one currency to unlock new items for sale in the shop, and then you need a different money to actually buy the moves once they're unlocked. So like,
but the money is pretty generous, especially if you get through those bonus levels. Well,
right, but that is the game, or that is accessing all the gameplay is going and getting stuff to buy more stuff.
Yeah, so there's moves which you wind up with just a roster of moves.
That's a lot.
Almost like fighting game style thing of like, okay, you get a move that hits square twice, then hit triangle, and you'll do a move. And the game has a couple of mechanics for the enemies. One is armor, which is like your yellow bar that you need to break down in order to basically get enemies to pop up in the air or put them in a state that's called an execution state, which puts a little mark over their head. And then Joe can mark as many characters as he wants on the map and then execute the execution and will just kill everyone who has that on his head. But you can't do that unless the armor's down and this little execution bar has filled up.
It's like the best feeling in the game, I think, is... I mean, specifically because you can activate the execution like midair, like coming off a combo. It's not like you have to like wait to hit the ground before it'll register the input or whatever. Like the second you pop somebody up in the air and that execution meter fills, before you even land, you can just go into the execution animation. Like, it feels so good.
Which sometimes it's awesome and super cool to do this, and sometimes it can be a little dangerous because you're popping enemies off the map into pits sometimes, and you can still execute them in the pit. Then you can try and jump out. So the armors is something you need to break, and then there's also the execution thing. And then that gets filled up with, I think it's just called execution meter. I forget exactly what it's called. There's a way to fill it up faster. So Joe has amulets and he has combo medallions he could put on. And Joe has Ninpo. He's got his magic. And then he's got his like super, I forget what they're called, but it's like super Ninpo. It's like finishing move that is a rage meter that builds up.
Yeah, that's when you got to hold down the 2 triggers before you do the thing.
Yeah, and so he's got a decent amount of build to him because you can kind of start building Joe in a way that fits like, oh, I want to do an aerial style build, or I want to do a kunai build, or I want to do, I mean, it's not that deep, but I'm doing like an execution build where everything I have stacks on the execution thing so that I can get that meter up as quickly as possible to finish off people. And the more enemies you execute, the bigger the bonus is that'll like health and coins that'll pop off of them, which is really satisfying. It is almost like a Vampire Survivor's explosion of coins and health that come out of people.
So much.
And like the game's not easy. I mean, it's not like brutally hard, although the boss I'm stuck on right now is not my favorite, or it's tough. But
I found the challenge level reasonably fair so far. Well, like there's definitely some tough skill checks I've run into, but like I feel like it has not overly hit me yet.
Well, particularly like if you're doing the elite squads, the like bonus like super hard combat challenges, like they don't refill your health coming out of those, I don't think. So like you
can get health during the battle with some executions, but
after you finish them, if you're low on health, you're just going to be low on health. Granted, like death doesn't seem like a huge deal in this. You pretty much just go back to the last checkpoint,
and you get full health at a checkpoint. And there are things that just make the game. I have found it challenging, but not punishing. Except for the one part I'm at now. I literally have spent like about an hour on this one platforming puzzle. They introduced another thing that I don't know if you've gotten up to it. There are rifts in each level, and those are extra hard combat challenges or platforming challenges, and those are basically your like Meat Boy-esque platforming challenges where you're like you're really going to be testing your ability to understand the mechanics. If I have one criticism, main thing of the game, it is, well, two, one's my fault. You really want a controller that has no drift or anything like that going on, because there does come a point where you want to be very precise on platforms where you don't want Joe to accidentally climb a ledge or not climb a ledge or do something. The reason I discovered I think mine has drift is when I open the map, it starts going through the checkpoints in the map, and I think there's a little bit of drift on it. So that can cause an issue, I think, sometimes, because you do want, like Brad, you said, you can pop things off anytime you want, and you want to be pretty precise sometimes. Not to a fault, but pretty precise. So when I switched to another controller, it was fine. But the other thing is Joe has a double jump, and he's got an air dash. But they're a limited quantity, so you get one per jump until you touch a floor again, or until you touch a wall, a special type of wall,
like the kind you can climb on with the claws or whatever. Like that stuff is almost technical enough that I wish there was some visual indicator of what you had. That was going to be
my thing, yes,
because you can wall run as well. That's the other thing. If you keep holding jump, you'll run up a wall a bit when you touch it.
Yeah.
And sometimes coming off that wall, I feel like I have another double jump or a dash or something, and I forget what I've already used. And it'd kind of be nice if you had a little more sense of, I mean, it's skill problem, frankly. I just need to get better at it, but like it can be a little hard to remember what you have and haven't used.
So
because you can stay off the ground for long enough.
It definitely is a thing you can kind of get used to once you're really locked in and keeping track of it as well. But in the puzzle platforming parts where you haven't touched a floor in a while, you're like, oh fuck, I don't have my dash anymore, and then you're kind of sunk, right?
Yep.
Because there are sections that you will be hustling ass moving, and you'll have to be like, I can't use my dash. I cannot use my dash. I need my dash for this later part. And once in a while, you just wind up doing those parts over and over again until you solve them and you figure out the platforming puzzle, and it's cool. But yeah, a visual indicator or something. But there's a lot to visually indicate in that game. There's also a lot of meters filling up.
There's a lot going on in that game.
There's a lot going on, but the combat is so in your favor and so fun. Like you have invincibility frames on your roll. A lot of the enemies do not. They do have one unblockable move or one move that can,
the darkness attacks.
Yeah, that can bust through your invincibility frames. But man, you're just like, I feel like the enemy never gets a second to breathe. Like they have no invincibility frames. Like when you have knocked them, you can keep chaining hits on them if you can reach them and kind of keep juggling them around in such a satisfying way, especially when you're chaining in your Nimpo and doing all sorts of stuff to break armor. You get a move that lets you, when you dash through them, hit them through the dash, which is super satisfying. It's just a cool ass move set on the character. I like the reason I'm 12 hours in is like I just haven't put it down. Like I think I started playing it on Sunday or something, and have just been like, this is just rad. I just want to keep going in it, just
chopping away at it.
Yeah, I got all the fragments of the sword, and all the store is bought out basically, and I've got every Nimpo and all the things, and it's just cool. He just gets more and more powerful to the point where he's just like this wrecking ball of a idiot, kind of like Doom guy-ish, of just like, and just burning through levels.
I don't need Joe to talk. Like I think they made a good call there.
I mean, I might go as far as to say he shouldn't talk. Because at the end of the day, he is just a dumb cipher of an arcade game character that like somebody probably just thought up a name for on the spot because they needed a name in their game. You know what I mean? Like original Shinobi doesn't have a lot of story. It's just an arcade game.
I mean, it's one of the problems I had with that recent Ninja Gaiden game. And I say problem minorly here because I don't actually hate that game at all. But like too much talking in that game from characters with a story that I don't care that much about, and also maybe the boss fights aren't that great. But otherwise, like that game is pretty good. This one is hitting me harder. Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would say this is I don't want to blow it up too much, but I really it struck me. I would say for me, like immediate classic of the genre. Like it just feels really good. In kind of in the way that gosh, what was that? This is the way I remember things now. Brad, what was the quick look that we lost the footage you had to recreate that time?
Shadow Complex.
Kind of in the way when I started playing Shadow Complex, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. I don't want to stop playing this. That kind of vibe. It's not the same kind of game, but for some reason it's giving me the same kind of vibe. Like a very tight, in the scope of this game, well executed video game.
It's up there for 2D melee combat for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say like greatest of all time or whatever, but I do frankly struggle to think of another 2D game that's got combat this tight and fluid. That's this specific type of game.
Yeah, because like Streets of Rage 4 also has very tight combat, but it's a different kind of game.
It's great.
I generally think Lizard Cube is doing very good work. Like between this and also that Wonder Boy game they put out.
I really liked that Wonder Boy game.
I did not play that.
And between this and Streets of Rage, like I kind of feel like this reboot project from Sega feels like it's off on a pretty good foot.
Yeah. It just occurred to me as we've been talking about this. This is the first one of those, right?
Yes, it is. Well, I guess technically Streets of Rage may have been part of that, but I don't know if it was officially wrapped up in the announced, like, hey, we're doing a bunch of these thing.
What was it? It was like 5 out of that Game Awards. It was
Golden Axe, right?
Golden Axe, Crazy Taxi.
No, I don't think Outrun. It was Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, Shinobi.
I thought Streets of Rage was on there.
What were the other two? I don't think so. I thought they were all arcade games, but maybe I'm wrong.
Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio. Yes. Okay. It was Streets of Rage. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so it's interesting because like Streets of Rage 4 was a few years ago, but I guess they're probably making another one.
Yeah, I don't think that was the one, right?
No,
that was 2020. So that was before this big reboot. So I think this is the first one of those 5.
It is the first of the 5. Yeah,
this is like a pretty good debut for that effort, or for that whatever that program is to bring all those games back.
Yeah, I think I just like a game like this where it, like I said, I'm about a dozen hours in. It feels like I'm nearing the end here. I have most of the collectibles, and the game hasn't gotten in my way. It just moves. It just it's not overstaying its welcome. The power curve feels good as things escalate. I'm getting move sets that feel like reward me for getting all the collectibles and spending a lot of money makes Joe feel overpowered in ways where some things are just like, no, you're trapped in here with me, that kind of thing where you're just like, but it makes you not where it breaks the game, where you just feel like you're that much cooler because now you're doing such sick ass moves. I'm curious and also a game I think when I'm done, I will probably just put it down and be like, that was
you got
good.
What you needed out of it.
Yeah, got what I needed out of it. It's $30. It's on everything. I'm playing it on the PlayStation 5. Runs just fine on there. Load times are great. I did have one bug in the entire time I was playing, where my Joe's icon got stuck on the map. I'm not sure why, but I rebooted and it was fine. There are parts in the platforming thing where I'm like, banging the couch a little bit. Like I said, this one part.
Like I said, there's a challenge for sure.
Yeah. But that's I'm trying to do this optional thing that is just a meat grinder of razor blades and laser beams and flames coming, and just the jumping is really precise, and it's more of a platforming puzzle. It's that exact thing we talked about before, Brad, of just like, oh, should I use the dash here or should I save the dash? I think I'm going to need the dash after this to get up through this little spot. So it's a little frustrating there, and it's one of the few places that doesn't have a checkpoint, not an official checkpoint, because sometimes they will even checkpoint you on platforming puzzles on a platform, and this does not have that. So it's a long platforming sequence that's, maybe 45 seconds to get through, but that's a long time when you're doing it a lot, right? When you get to 44 seconds and you die and you're like, shit, I've got to do all of this again.
Do those spawn off of the main levels or spoke off of like it's not from the world map that you get to those, right?
The rifts are in the level, and this is not even a rift. This is just one of the purple areas. Oh. Yeah. Huh. It's just the hardest thing I've done in the game so far. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so hard.
I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, it's on what seemed, like I said, it seems like it's the last level. But if you look at the map, there's like one other portion of the map that's there, so there might be something else later on.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say, there's actually some cool throwbacks in there. Like there's one boss in particular that is straight up a boss from Shinobi Arcade, like original Shinobi.
I saw the reference, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, like I would not have known that at all if the dialogue. But he doesn't just come out and say, "Hey, I'm an old boss. Remember me?" Like, but the dialogue is like really well written to imply that this dude has been around and that Joe Musashi has faced him before.
Yeah.
In a way that I was like, I wonder if that's, and then I went and Googled the boss's name, and like, sure enough, it's like, oh wow, there's that boss in original Arcade Shinobi. So like, there's some cool, like not beating you over the head, like obvious explicit references to the original game.
Yeah, it's funny about the art style in this game, because I think the art direction also is awesome. But then you get stuff that is kind of Streets of Rage-ish, where a ship will come in and it's just a static image. It's not animated at all. Mm-hmm. And it just moves in that way that looks like an early Genesis game or something. And then this highly animated Joe pops out of it. But like you once in a while will get those things like a gunship that's just following you on the map. That's just doing that thing where it just bobs and weaves up and down. But generally, I think all the character designs are very cool. The enemy variety is there. It's not a ton of different enemies, but they have different versions of them, higher power ones. But I have enjoyed the boss designs are fun, and the battles are usually, again, they're challenging but not overly punishing, especially if you are powering up quite a bit. You get more health, you get more kunai throughout the game. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, I highly recommend it if you're into 2D action games. It's a lot of fun.
One of my favorite things this year so far.
Yeah, it really moves. $30 and available almost everywhere. I wonder how the Switch version plays. I would hope well. I don't know.
I haven't heard anything about it being bad, so
I wonder if there is a Switch 2 SKU.
Like native SKU?
Yeah.
Do they even have a dev kit at this point?
Nobody does. They don't exist.
No, it's just Switch 1, but I mean, that might just be or that might be intentional, like there might not be any benefit in putting out a Switch 2 specific SKU.
If it loaded faster, sometimes.
Well, I mean, they might be able to account for all that stuff
on the Switch 1.
Yeah, without like they could design it in such a way that would be the case without it technically being a Switch 2 version.
Shinobi, catch it. Out now. All right. I'm going to take a quick break. Well, actually, I should say the release date on here, I thought it was on Thursday. It says Friday, the 29th. So we're recording this. It might have an extra day when you're listening to this. So look forward to it.
Yeah. Highly recommended, though.
Highly recommended. Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Look for it wherever fine video games are sold. We're going to take a quick break. Got a couple of other games here to touch base on. Not a ton, but some stuff that we had to hold back for embargo that you may have seen during Gamescom. We'll talk about it in just a moment. Hang tight. All right, we are back. And one other thing that I wound up wrapping up, fairly short game, Sword of the Sea. We talked a little bit about it last week, or a decent amount about it. Not too much to add, except that maybe my daughter loves that game. She has now beaten it 3 times.
Wow.
Wow.
She's
I know it's not that long, but man.
Yeah. She is she's trying to get all the moves. You have to pay the guy to get the moves.
Yeah, I've played some more of it. I'm still in the snow area.
Okay.
I haven't finished it yet, but like there were more moves or more like categories of moves than I remembered from when we talked about it last week, and I actually wondered like, could you get enough currency by the end of the game to get them all for how short the game is, or is that something where you actually have to play it multiple times? There's
a new game plus that just rolls you right into.
But I mean, were you anywhere close to getting them all by the time you finished it? So,
I mean, you could probably grind it out if you really wanted to.
Like maybe there's enough hidden stuff because, like I said, there's quite a bit of hidden stuff in that first major area that I spent time looking for. So maybe you could get everything, but
she, like I said, she's on her 3rd run. I got everything but one of the movesets.
On your first run?
On my first run.
Oh, okay. You can probably get everything then.
But I was pretty far. It's like 5,000 to get the last one. So it's a pretty good jump. So I wasn't very close to getting that 5,000 when I finished up. But yeah, it flows. It moves. I think that game's all right. She was like, "Oh my gosh, what do you think? What do you think?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's a pretty good game." She's like, "Wait, you don't love it?" And I was like, I think it's a good game. I think it's all right. She very much is way into what it is putting out there, which I get. And bless her. She was like, I was like, "What do you like about it?" She's like, "I think it really controls well. I think
it does.
I think it moves really well. I think it controls well." And then she's like, "I really like the mood of the game." And I was like, "Yeah, that's 100% what I would describe."
Yeah, I'll probably go ahead and finish it since it's not super long.
I think you're almost near the end.
Yeah, like I didn't love that. God, what is it you're riding? Is it a giant dolphin or killer whale? I can't remember. I think it's a dolphin.
The one that you can control.
Yeah,
that part's kind of boring.
I thought that's like I kind of slowed down on the. I mean, ironically, I slowed down on the game after I got through that, and then got back to the parts that I think I would like better, or definitely like better when you're back on the snowboard or whatever, the sword.
You do that one more time on a different animal, but you're just basically just trying to light up lanterns. And
like that part. I think that part is not super engaging and goes on a bit too long.
I also, when I was playing that part, felt like it had really hit a brick wall almost. Like this part's not really as fun as the snowboarding on the sword part. But there are some other mechanics that come along that are kind of cool. After that, I don't know if you're up to that. You learn more about that mysterious character
Right.
And that gives you like one other mechanic later on. But the game's not super involved. It's more of just, I don't know, wetting the world up.
It's a vibes game.
It is. It really is. But not a bad one, and enjoyable throughout. With good vibes, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Sword of the Sea. Again, not a very long one. I should check my time played on that one. But that is also available on PS5 and the PC. That is out. That is $30. And Alex, you and I played. Let me talk about the Gamescom thing first before we get to this.
FMV
thing.
We're burying the lead here.
Yeah. Well,
the biggest game of the year.
So the thing is, Bubsy.
Bubsy.
So I saw Bubsy before Gamescom. It was embargoed. Couldn't talk about it until after Gamescom.
Wow, somebody's bragging about seeing Bubsy before everyone else.
That's right.
Bubsy 4D. We should be clear.
Bubsy 4D, flexing a little bit. I went to in Manhattan in New York City.
Yeah,
I was there with Senior Bubs.
where they do video game events now.
That's right. This grand city, New York City. So I saw it and I was surprised because I did not know it was going to be there.
Okay. No. You need to frame this a little bit better. When you walked in there, and they brought you up to the thing and they gave you the presentation that, hey, we are here to talk about Bubsy 4D.
Yeah.
I want to know what the first thought that ran through your head is, and I want to know, how did you contort your face to not react in a way that made anyone upset?
My first thought was, oh, not the Mortal Kombat Collection.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
because to be clear, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the Wikipedia to make sure I get this right. Like, the game was completely, thoroughly, 100% unannounced when you went to that thing, right?
So that was my second thought was this announced? Did I miss a Bubsy? Because
No, you did not, because the earliest footnote on this thing is 8 days ago at the time of this recording. So you definitely went to see it before it was announced.
Because the thing is, so then I was confused for a little bit, but they quickly clear up the confusion because there have been other Bubsy things that are coming out. Not this Bubsy 4D thing, but there have been, are there remakes of the other Bubsy stuff? There has absolutely been Bubsy stuff that has been released in the near past, but this is an all new 3D platformer. Then they said who was doing it. Fabraz, is that how you say their?
I guess so.
The developer name. So I did not know the developer by name. I had heard of some of the games they've done, but I have never played them. But I understand they are well regarded. So in the space, Demon Turf, I've never played it, but I understand it is well regarded.
Yeah, we talked about it before. I've heard of Slime Song, at least as a game people like, and it seems like people like Demon Turf quite a bit. Like the vibe I get around this developer, and even strangely this game, is people seem pretty bullish on it.
Yeah,
pretty Bubsish on it.
Mm-hmm, there you go.
Nice. So I played some of it. It's probably the same thing that they have going on at Gamescom. It was a pretty tight demo of a level. And the moveset and the tutorial and all that stuff. Bubsy 4D, fully voiced, 3D platformer.
Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, I think well, you tell me, you saw it and talked to them. Like, they're positioning this as a direct sequel to Bubsy 3D?
Yep.
Right.
I think this is in a continuous line with it. It's snarky. It's got some attitude. Bubsy seems a little over it in the kind of Bubsy characterization here, but it plays like a 3D platformer like a modern 3D platformer. It is got the control set you'd want. Some of the stuff seemed a little looser than I'm used to in your Mario platformers in 3D Mario platformers. It's not super duper tight, but it was, from what I played, it seemed totally fine. Mm-hmm. I just don't have any Bubsy connection really, aside from I played the 2D ones. I didn't really pay attention that much to the 3D ones, and I'd be lying if I said I was caught up in all the Bubsy meme-ification, right?
No, you're definitely not.
I think my sense is the people who were in the exact right age bracket when Bubsy 3D came out probably have some reverence for it.
Right.
People that were, let's say, not old enough to know better at the time.
So what year was that? Was that like 2000?
It was PlayStation 1, so it was probably like late 90s, maybe around 2000. When did that come out?
So I might have been a little too
96,
old
97
for that. I might have been a little too discerning, like you just said.
Yeah,
like,
yes. I did not play Bubsy 3D.
Discernment and Bubsy do not mix.
Like, it wasn't the thing where, like, we had other games we rented and then have this weird nostalgia for, even though they were terrible. Like, I think I would have probably just avoided it and just not touched it.
Yeah, to be clear, though, I did just go and check. The only modern Bubsy game is Paws on Fire, which is a 2D game.
Oh, I remember that. That's the one with the verbosity meter?
Maybe?
Was that the...
I don't know.
It
was made by Choice Provisions, the developer of the Bit Trip games.
Okay. I think I remember that coming out. Was that while we were at Giant Bomb?
Yeah, it came out May 2019.
Okay.
So like a year before the pandemic started. Point is, though, I think Bubsy 3D is to date still the only Bubsy 3D platformer until now.
Yes.
Finally.
And now it's 4D.
This is a lot of time spent on the rich tapestry of Bubsy releases.
Like, why Bubsy? Why not Gex? Why not any other fucking, like, marginal mascot platformer? Why has Bubsy captured the human imagination to this degree?
I mean, to be clear, I meant time spent on our part chronicling the Bubsy franchise, but also, like, I think it's probably because of that meme-ish status, right? Like,
yes.
Even the press release they put out announcing Bubsy 4D had a real tongue-in-cheek, like even the mention of Atari, like the quote from the developer was like, wait, Atari's still around? Like, there's just kind of a...
Great.
There's kind of a self-deprecating tone to everything they're putting out around this game that seems very aware.
And that
of
was
the
even
reputation.
That was even the kind of the tone during the meeting was like they came to us or like I forget what the interaction was, but it was like a Bubsy game, like I'm looking at the history now. I don't think I realized. I think the Woolly Strike Back is the one I remember.
Okay.
That was a couple of years before Paws on Fire, but I don't think I realized there were like 3 games in succession there with Bubsy from 2015 to 2019. I just don't have the Bubsy connection,
Yeah. I'm still, like I said, I'm not sure anybody does really, but
That's the thing. I've never met a person who genuinely loves Bubsy. At most, I have met people who were like perfectly happy to partake in the memification of Bubsy, but I have never met a person who's like, no, I really liked Bubsy.
So I came out being like, yeah, this seems like you have made a solid platformer with Bubsy. And I think I'll definitely give it a try. Like it wasn't a game I came out being like, uh-oh. It's a game that I'm like, yeah, for sure. This is...
I'm sure they will make a perfectly cromulent one of those. Like, it's not that I'm necessarily disbelieving that someone could make a totally serviceable Bubsy game. It's more the why.
Might be better than serviceable.
Yeah, could be. I need to play more of it. I need to get into the collecting part of it. In the 3D platforming part of like trying to get every nook and cranny.
Do you need that? Do you need that in your life?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that a thing you need?
I don't know if I need it, but it's
because like need is a very specific word and it means something.
It's what I need from a 3D platformer.
Okay,
is the to be able to go try and get to the place where the collectible is. That is what I need. I think the thing that will be the toughest sell, and from my time with the demo, is the tone of the game and the voice acting in the game and selling the tone well in the game, because that's a hard needle to thread of 90s snark in 2025, right? Your attitude era coming back, your attitude mascot coming back in 2025 and doing it correctly, right? Like that's a bit of a tough one.
I mean, is it not unfair to say that the times we are currently living in is what happens when you let the attitude era take over everything?
It might be the consequence. We might be paying the price.
Vince McMahon has a lot to answer for.
A lot to answer
even
for.
More than we even know.
We don't have mascot platformers anymore, so even those.
No, we do. It's the ones from before. They just bring them back every once in a while.
Yeah. Who are we missing? Gex. Was there a Gex 3D?
I want to say there was like some kind of Gex collection they did, but I don't think they've done a Gex reboot.
Okay. Conquer, right?
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to pull this up. There has to be a list of this. Every mascot platform.
Oh, geez, don't do that. Oh, no.
I need to know. I need to know who all the fucking video game mascot platformers are.
Bonk.
Oh, man.
Right? Who owns Bonk at this point?
All right, found a list. Thank you, Hardcore Gaming 101. Arrow the Acrobat.
Okay.
Alex Kidd.
Oh, geez. This is gonna be.
I'm gonna call that one a little dicey. Bonk.
Ah, no, dude, no way. Alex Kidd was the mascot on the Master System.
Yeah.
Like that was he
But
was.
is that
the
really a
Sega
mascot platformer?
Yeah, no, those games are 100% platformers. Like
All
he was the poster child for the Sega Master System.
All right. Well, there he is.
Sonic.
Yeah.
And I'm by the way, I'm not including some of the more obscure ones here, but like
Wait, you're not
Bonk.
going to talk about Artie Lightfoot here?
I'm really not. I'm really not
Somebody's
going to talk about Artie Lightfoot because I don't know what that is.
I mean, Bonk is like, I mean, Bonk was a hardware mascot platformer.
Yep. TurboGrafx, baby. Cool Spot.
Yep. Well, okay, that's a licensed
That's
one.
like a double mascot.
Yeah.
Croc.
Yep. That counts.
Crash Bandicoot. We've seen plenty of him recently. Donkey Kong. We know him. Dynamite Heady.
Don't know that one.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a Frogan?
I don't know. Wait, was Earthworm Jim on there?
It's a frozen Yogan.
Earthworm Jim is not on here, I assume, because that's maybe slightly more of like a shooter side-scrolling action game than like a platformer.
Yeah. Okay, fair. Yeah.
All right, we got Gex, we got Hermie Hopperhead, which feels like I am saying some kind of racial slur here.
God, I haven't heard that name in a very long time.
Hermie Hopperhead?
Yeah.
Oh, you had heard that name before?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I'm not sure did that come out here? No, it did not.
Okay.
Yeah, that did not come out. That never made it outside Japan. But I absolutely remember Hermie Hopperhead from the PlayStation era.
Okay.
I also don't know what High Seas Havoc is. Jazz Jackrabbit.
Uh-huh.
Of course, yes.
Klonoa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lunistus? What is this?
I don't know.
What is a Lunistus?
I don't know.
What the fuck is a punky skunk?
I'm telling you, there are a
Now
lot
you're
of...
just making shit up.
Plock. You skipped over Plock.
Well, I'm getting to Plock. I needed to say punky skunk out loud first.
I don't think I know what Plock is. Is that should I know Plock?
I know the name, but I can't really remember what it is, to be frank.
I also don't know what a polyroll is. It appears to be some kind of iOS thing. All right, fine. Rystar?
Okay.
Rocket Knight?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, those
Rocky
have been getting
Rodents?
some re-releases.
What the fuck is a socket? Sandwiched in here between all the Sonic things, there is Socket,
Okay.
which is a Vic Tokai thing, apparently.
Huh.
All right. Spyro?
Okay,
course,
for
yes.
sure.
Sparkster?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What Super Tempo?
I
Tempo
remember
and Super Tempo?
I remember the name of Tempo, but I can't remember quite what it's about.
What about Titus the Fox?
Have heard the name.
This appears to be some sort of Game Boy concern, is how I would describe that. Vex?
Uh-huh.
Twinbee?
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Wonder Dog?
Oh, Wonder Dog.
Okay.
Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, I'm not
Those
saying
are
this
all-
is the entire list. This is just what they have listed.
Those are all real games.
Okay, so you're saying plenty of ceiling left in this room here for in this house of platform mascots.
What I'm saying is there's
Platform
never been a
mascots.
better time to bring back Punky Skunk.
Yeah, well, who's got the rights? Let's go. Who do you think has the rights to TurboGrafx stuff in Bonk? I'm sure it's.
I assume NEC still just owns it all.
Where's
They
NEC?
They never divested of any of that stuff, as far as I know.
Is NEC scooped up by somebody?
Did NEC get acquired by somebody at some point?
Because
I
like a
can't
bunch of that
remember.
TurboGrafx stuff
I don't
showed up
think so.
for a while as a classic games thing in some
it?
of the Nintendo stuff, didn't it? But not
Did
in
it?
the Switch era, I don't
I
think.
don't know.
I thought they were selling TurboGrafx games at one point.
Oh, I guess NEC is owned by AT&T now.
Oh.
It seems
Oh.
like.
Wait. Oh. Okay, wait. Sorry, I don't want to get too deep in this, but
That's
please,
too late.
Please, somebody, quickly here, without getting too deep into it. AT&T and Warner are no longer associated at all.
Wait, were they ever?
You know, it's really hard to keep track of who WB has been merging and unmerging with, so I don't know.
I thought AT&T, HBO, Warner were all together
Oh, I guess you're right.
at some point.
I think that's the case.
Oh, okay. We've already
Dude, I
gone.
don't know, man.
We've already gone too long. Yes, Warner.
Impossible.
Warner's been around with everybody.
I don't believe they are still owned by AT&T. I think what we are seeing here is that they were owned between 1899 and 1941 by Western Electric, which became the AT&T Corporation.
Weird.
Now they are owned by something called the Sumitomo Group.
Actually, yes. I think, that's kind of hard to parse the history of this, but yes, I think that's right.
Okay. So the Sumitomo Group is who we need to talk to about this.
Yeah, at any rate, I don't think any of the NEC owned TurboGrafx properties ever went anywhere,
No.
as far as I know.
All right.
Unless they're like Hudson was involved in some of that stuff, and maybe they own some of it. I'm not quite sure.
Was with TurboGrafx? What was their? Were they true 32-bit? That's what was their?
No, God, no.
Were they selling true 16? They were one of the
True
ones.
16 is kind of their whole thing.
No, TurboGrafx was a fake 16-bit system because it used two 8-bit CPUs that they tried to portray as a 16-bit system.
Okay, maybe it was a fake 16-bit.
They did try to portray themselves as the most powerful one, which was kind of laughable.
100% not the case.
Okay. Was the 32-bit thing for the Sega Genesis? Was that actually 32?
I don't know. I mean, all that stuff, like all the referring to something as some number of bits was all such fuzzy marketing-fueled nonsense anyway that take your pick.
That's our industry.
So I have a 32-bit CPU, is a 32-bit data bus. Like, who cares? I don't know. Or who knows? You know what I mean? It was different in every case.
But you know what? The thing that they correctly seized on is that all you have to tell the American consumer is number bigger.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what any of it means, just number bigger.
That 100% was the case. I came across a discussion, I think it was, I don't know, Blue Sky or somewhere. People were like going back to old marketing and old game magazines and stuff to basically see, like, did anybody call the PS2 128 bits? Like, did that try to...
I don't remember us going past 64.
Once the CD-ROM era hit, they stopped talking about bits for the most part.
Sony was always like and I think this was like largely Kutaragi driven. Like they were always like a nerdy enough, like tech driven company to not lean into bullshit like that too much. Like the thing that made the PS2 unique had nothing to do with anything like that. So they just didn't even bother trying to lie about it in a way that no doubt would have been effective.
Yeah.
If they had.
Speaking of marketing and bits and bytes and Atari, I will say part of the conversation I had, which I think I can repeat with one of the representatives from Atari, Brad, we had talked about stuff of like what we'd want from this new Atari. They seem to be doing a lot of things right, and putting out. I learned
they're putting an effort. I don't know if they're doing everything right, but they are clearly like making a serious go of this.
Before I get to the story, I did not know this. They showed me the hardware there of that Atari, Atari console they're putting out. That's the emulator console that can play old Atari games.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Is that the 2600 plus?
Yes.
Is that the one that you can put a real cartridge into?
Yeah, I didn't know you could put a real cartridge in there.
Yeah.
And they showed it there, and they're selling carts that have old games, but you can just put your old Atari cartridges in there, which I think is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Anyway, I was talking to one of the guys there, and I said, okay, look, there's something that within our quote unquote office that we talk about all the time that Atari just needs to do. We've talked about it a lot, and I just want to know where you guys stand on being able to do this. And he's like, immediately he was like, you want us to put out a Jaguar? I was like, no. Oh God, no.
Who the fuck are they talking to?
Who's been talking to you? What have they been telling you?
I mean, people get weird about the Jaguar.
It's like, oh,
no one's asking for this.
For reasons I don't understand.
No. The prints, the art. We want the art from the games.
That's all I've ever wanted.
That's what I'm talking about. No,
Jesus Christ, man. No. Please. Don't put that evil on me.
I want to frame and place on my wall between 3 and 6 nice high-res Atari 2600 box art covers.
So
I never owned an Atari, and I would still do that.
We talked about that. So.
Where I always go back and forth is, do I just want the painting or do I want the full thing? And I think it's actually the latter.
What do you mean? Do you want the full thing?
Because I mean, people who don't know, go Google some Atari 2600 box art, and specifically games put out by Atari, because everybody had their own house style. Like Activision games looked different,
Just go look up Haunted House.
So yes, look up Haunted House. Look up. I'd have to, Yars' Revenge, whatever Defender, but. Because they all had the big inset painting. They had these incredibly nice, like fine art looking paintings commissioned for all these games. But then, there was the big just flat color border with the big logo at the top. you know.
So you want a nice print of the full box art.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm trying to remember how did they phrase the phrasing was very 70s on the box art. I'm trying to find one really quick here.
I mean, it was like
game program
game cartridge. Oh,
game program. That's the phrase I was trying to remember.
Okay.
It's like at the top it'll say Street Racer underneath that game program, and then under that, if it's a game that had a bunch of modes in it, 27 video games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Street Racer, Slalom, Dodge'em, Jet Shooter, Number Cruncher. You know, like I kind of want. I think I want a print of the whole box art with all that 70s looking text pitching what's in the game.
That is a good. Yes, that is a good. Good point. I don't know if I'd want the whole thing. That Berserk art is also very good. I think I'd want that Haunted House. And I don't know what would go in my third.
I thumbed through the Art of Atari book after we talked about this, and they're all so good that I kind of even would take ones that I never played before. You know? Like they're all so good.
I should look up Air Sea Battle. I don't know what that looks like. Anyway, we talked for a bit about that, and I don't want to give too much away because I don't think that was part of our official thing. But you know, it's like you can guess where some of the problems lie in some of those things.
Yep.
But they very much was like on board with like, oh yeah, man, that stuff's great. Would love to do that. Anyway, Bubsy 4D. Check it.
It will come out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the bigger news there is who's making it. Again, I don't have a lot of history with the dev there, but from the people I trust that have played those games seem to have faith. So moving on here from Bubsy 4D. Finally, I think just a small thing that we tried and more of just FMV stuff continues or is in a place now where they just look good and people make good looking FMV games. We played a game this week called She Sees Red.
Which is a few years old now.
Yeah, a few years old. I think it actually first release was maybe 2019, so more than a few years even. But really billed as an interactive movie where you make some choices and you can steer the plot in different ways. But well directed and like looks good. And I think, Alex, where was that out of? Kazakhstan?
Kazakhstan, I believe, is where we pinpointed it to.
So, yeah, like nice cinematography. Like the editing was nice.
I'd say like the general shooting style is like analogous to like a pretty good American TV show. Like reasonably well edited. Like the acting is maybe not amazing, but they got some very good, interesting looking actors. So
yeah, right. I mean, it's kind of corny. The plot setup is corny, and it has to be in a certain way because of the the branching aspect choices. Of it. Yeah, but
the thing I kind of admired about it was that it managed to do the Quiet Man, but very short.
Yes, it was like maybe at most 45 minutes for a run through that game. But yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm a little hung up on the phrase "do the Quiet Man."
Your character in the game is a hooded, over the face, like baseball cap person who is doing martial arts to various people at various times, and also wears a hearing aid. But also, it has none of the actual Quiet Man flavor, shall we say?
And it's all FMV. There's no other.
Yeah, there's no like other gameplay part.
But it's an interesting little thing. I think it was like a couple of bucks over on Steam. I believe there's mobile versions of it. Mostly again to say, FMV has reached a place where it's not the Hollywood's take of the next big thing that's going to take over the world. It now feels like the domain of people who are talented, who have the technology to just make good looking things and program them and make the things they want, which is very cool. For that genre.
It's another casualty of the 90s, like point and click adventure games were.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they didn't completely die out. They're only now being made by people who actually care, which
that's right.
Turns out to be a pretty niche space overall.
I guess they must be doing fairly well. I think the mobile space for FMV must be a really interesting place because I feel like a lot of these things have deep crossover in mobile things where you can just watch a thing on your phone and click a choice, right? And have an interactive quote unquote movie.
Well, and I think some of these things are also doing very well in other countries. Like, you know, part of the reason like that Chinese one we played some years ago, the Breakout 13, because I think that kind of thing actually is doing pretty well in China, if I'm to understand correctly.
God, that thing was so crazy.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff is really fun to see. And I like when they're done in interesting ways where there's sometimes I don't love just the interactive movie parts where you're just doing a push.
Yeah, it can get pretty tedious.
It can get a little tedious. This one was kind of fun though.
Yeah, I think the choices, like, again, part of it is the pacing. Like, if you're dragging out a long story and there's just like too many choices, some of which don't feel that interesting, that's where you can get dragged in. But in a 45-minute thing where you are making maybe like 24 total decisions, like, I think that is it works pretty well.
And the core conceit of the game worked well for the branching paths. So, Brad, it's basically this detective looking over a murder scene, and it would flash back to the person doing the crime, and you're the actual one who was doing the crimes. And then when it flashed forward, the detective would be talking about the choices you just made. So, like, the core conceit worked well for that branching path. Like, if you're like, oh, do you want to stab this person or do you want to just hide? When you came back, they're either going to find a corpse or not. So it like kind of worked, and like, oh yeah, you can stay on the rails here with this.
That's clever.
Yeah, it was pretty clever. But yeah, that's She Sees Red. We also got just a second to point out, boy, I hate this stuff on YouTube, but we got a surprise nipple in a bathtub, which YouTube can be so puritanical sometimes with its approach to nudity, but it's really hard to parse out what they're going to go ballistic over or not, right? So it's like
they have industry leading boob detection algorithms.
They have right.
You have to be careful.
They really do have just like detection for that kind of stuff, and nudity and nipple detection, and it's weird the way they phrase some stuff sometimes is like, it's okay if it's not meant for arousal. And like, I don't know what's really going to be somebody's thing or not, like it's, is somebody in a bathtub, is that meant for arousal or not?
Like who or what is the arbiter of that? Like, you can't give that over to an algorithm, right?
I would consider this. And there's like, if it's art, then it's fine on YouTube, right?
Probably a consideration applied by a human being if it gets escalated to that point.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm very much an absolutist that I think you should just be able to put an age gate on anything and show anything on a YouTube or a Twitch or whatever. Like, if you want to say no one under 18 can see this, I understand you probably just can't broadcast hardcore pornography on there. That's totally fine. But it's like the way they have set up these nets to trap these very specific things, like a nipple showing up in something, is just so far beyond useless. Like, why can't I just see the game that I'm playing played on YouTube? Like, why if it's in the game, why is it a problem? Like, I'm not playing a hardcore pornography game. I am playing this.
Yeah, and like, I guess you got to use some discretion. And the only problem I have with turning on our stuff is definitely in the not for kids zone. But
yeah,
there is a toggle to make it 18 plus, but
I'm sure that kills any search traffic for anything.
Not even that. Then you have to log in. You have to have a YouTube account to watch it, right? Because you have to be logged in and verified. And I hate to make people have to do that, especially if they don't want a YouTube account to watch it on there. So I just blurred out the 5 seconds of it and put it up there. But yeah, I don't know. That stuff always bums me out. It always feels like I'm conceding like something, or like I'm giving ground to something when I do that.
Look, I'm not making an argument no one has made many, many times before, but like, it especially rankles me because like there's a scene in that game, maybe 10 minutes before we ran into the nipple, where you are literally shoving a knife into someone's throat. Like, you are watching them shove it through their. I mean, again, it's that camera trick of them putting the knife behind the person's face because they're not actually stabbing them, but that they show it. They linger on you just shoving this knife into a person's throat.
And it's FMV, so it's like a movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
But like, there's no question as to whether that is broadcastable on YouTube.
I mean, I do have to flag it, but they won't take our channel down.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah. And like, actually, I would say the part that was the most disturbing in that game, which it was a little much, like a little manhuntish, was with where they put the plastic bag over her head and linger on that.
Yeah, they really suffocate that woman for a while.
No, just hang on a minute. You mean to tell me that violence is permissible and sex is not in the United States of America?
I know I'm not making a novel argument here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it's a thing that has started to drive me more and more crazy as I have gotten older.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. It's just want my little grievance. Like I said, I feel like a little piece of me dies every time I have to go through that process and be like, okay.
What is this show for if not the airing of grievances, specifically at YouTube?
All right. I think unless you guys have any more games, I really for my my time was a lot of Shinobi. I think that game rules. And I can't wait to get back to it. I'm gonna probably try and finish it up tonight if I have time. So my game time. It's game time, folks.
We are in game time.
Oh, it's about to be game time.
It's about to be game time.
That's for sure.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up our specific game time here, but we're going to get into the news in a second. So stick around. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. And if you want to get into hyperbole, we have the biggest news ever.
That's right.
In games.
We're breaking it here. We are breaking the Hollow Knight Silksong release date here. You've never heard this anywhere else before.
That's right. Brad,
you are getting very sleepy.
What have you got to announce?
You are getting very sleepy. This is news to you. They went and announced the Hollow Knight Silksong release date, as we kind of assumed they would at the end of that countdown last week. They did not do the funnier thing of just releasing Hollow Knight Silksong.
Well, they got close.
They got very close. 2 weeks. They announced a date 2 weeks out from the end of that countdown.
Yeah.
They could have just held the countdown for 2 weeks and then been, hey, guess what?
Well, if they had done that, though, then all these other developers wouldn't have had the opportunity to delay their own release dates to get out of the way of this thing, because that's what's happening right now.
That sure is what's happening. I kind of refrained from putting a list of games who have now delayed themselves because of this.
I think some of them are joking, honestly. I think some of them are doing it as a bit.
Yes, either as a bit or as like a, I mean, I don't want to accuse anybody of like publicity stunt necessarily, but like it's becoming a bit meme-ish. I think the first wave of people who did this were pretty sincere about it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I didn't see any of that stuff. Anything I would recognize?
Several games.
Baby Steps got pushed a little bit.
Baby Steps is probably the biggest one. Baby Steps got pushed like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
It's the 23rd of September now.
Instead of the 8th, I think.
Okay.
So that's a couple weeks. Demon School, which I think I had heard of but was not super familiar with, actually pushed to like November.
Okay.
I'm doing the thing I said I wasn't going to do and just sitting here rattling off games that have done this, but
I was curious.
I can't think of any others right now, but there's definitely some other games that are also just getting out there on social media real big about Silksong. There was one in particular that I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what it was that basically it was just like, yeah, we'll be playing Silksong in 2 weeks too. Kind of, I can't remember which game that was, but
I mean, look, I'll say this. I think at least some of these people are definitely doing this because they know it will get them written up in a story that says this game is moving out of the way of Silksong. But I also don't blame them, because like if you can hitch yourself to those coattails in any way, shape, or form, and it's not anything skeevy, I say fucking who cares? Go for it.
So
You're just delaying your game a couple weeks. That's fine.
September 4th, which is quickly approaching at the time of this recording, is just next week. They say the game, here's the thing, boyos. Look.
I'm an adult.
Boyos. The Mano.
There you go.
Hollow Knight. I played Hollow Knight after years of Hollow Knight being out, and all of the tweaks, DLC, new content that added. I think Silksong is going to be around for a while, and we'll have... When will we get the definitive version of Silksong? Probably not for a couple of years, right?
Maybe not
2 years or something. But
you'll have plenty to snack on in the intervening time,
for sure. And I think it is playable at Gamescom. I don't really have that much more to say about Silksong other than it's out in a week. You know,
I think it's very funny that they chose to do it this way. I think it's, reading a little bit of that Schreier report about like what the development of that game was. Man, those guys seem happy.
Yeah, weird.
It's weird how having an incredibly financially successful product like maybe leads to a little less stress in some areas of game development.
I mean, I guess I will say to their credit, a lot of people probably would get very nervous about a sophomore slump.
Of course.
Like a lot of people actually would feel a ton of pressure to follow up a game that hit like that and probably start second guessing themselves. So I guess to their credit, it sounds like they have really taken it in stride.
I meant more in the sense of like they are using the time that they have been afforded by their previous game being one of the biggest breakaway successes of the last decade to allow themselves the time to make the game they want to make, taking as much time as they want.
Yeah. Although, like, let's be real, like a lot of the hype around Silksong built up because they went silent for so long. Like,
right.
Like Hollow Knight was not in like say 2018, 19 what it is now in terms of people losing their minds over it.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they went radio silent for so long that demand was allowed to kind of reach this like pressure cooker.
Well, to be
state.
fair, some other things have happened in the last 5 years that might have also made people a little crazier than they might have been otherwise.
True. Quite true.
But I think also Hollow Knight got into the general consciousness of people organically. Like it's a great game. I actually love it. I think it's fantastic. But I think it's one of those well-made games that kept bubbling in behind the scenes. And then as people kept talking about Silksong and its weird radio silence and years of development and is this a DLC? Is this a real game? Is it ballooning out? Kind of got built up. I am genuinely curious to see how Silksong is received by the most rabid fans. Well, maybe not the most rabid, not the ones who will love anything, that will defend it.
Not the ones you need actual shots when you deal with them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I really do. I wonder if, I'm not sure how to put this. I don't think it's going to be underwhelming or there's going to be backlash necessarily, but it has reached such a mythical status that especially people who are coming to this franchise for the first time, I do wonder if some number of people are going to buy this game purely based on the hype and just be like, oh, okay, it's a Metroidvania, sure. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I would like to think some of those people would go out and buy Hollow Knight first.
Maybe. I do wonder if there's going to be some period of like coming down from this insane freight train of hype, where people are like, oh yeah, okay, it's a video game, sure, all right, cool.
Now, I think if Team Cherry really wanted to put the cherry on this thing, they will, on release day, they will make a roadmap for the next stuff that is coming for Silksong with, here's our first piece of DLC in 6 months.
Have they? I thought they did talk some about post-release support. Did I dream
I think
that
they said
up?
it'll be there, but
Okay,
I don't know if they
not
put a roadmap out. I could be very wrong.
Okay. Not like an actual roadmap graphic or anything, but I'd swear that I could have sworn I saw them saying something about it. I don't know.
I know they said they needed to, like in that Schreier piece, I think it was them saying that at some point they needed to stop, right, and put the game out, and they could have been developing it forever. But it'll definitely put a marker in time for the thing that everybody jokes about. Are they going to show it at this press conference? And like, we'll need some other stuff to come up, and
or
Steam
not.
page has a date.
What if we just didn't?
Nah, it's always been since the beginning of time.
What's the next thing then?
We talked a little bit about this, right? Is it like what has not been talked about? Ubisoft has canceled most of its stuff. Microsoft's canceled most of its stuff.
Yeah, but nothing any of those companies were doing was at this level of frothing demand, let's say.
No, I think that was the problem.
Like
I think it was more of like teasy joke stuff. Like, where is what is it? Wilds? What was that Ubisoft one?
Wild.
Wild. Yeah. Like, where's Beyond Good and Evil? Right? Like, are we still doing that joke?
No.
I don't know if anybody cares as much. But yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on Silksong. And I will excited to finish it in 10 years. The proper time to play Silksong. Brad, what else we got?
Speaking of games finally getting release dates.
Yeah.
Skate is out in like 3 weeks.
In early access.
Which I guess I had forgotten this was a free-to-play game because EA doesn't exactly do early access often or ever.
Mm-hmm.
So when they said that they are releasing Skate into early access on September 16th, I was like, wait a minute. And then they said, see you in San Vansterdam.
Mm-hmm.
And then I closed the browser window.
San Vansterdam.
Which is like, I don't know. I didn't play the Skate games really. Did you guys play those? Like I thought they had a little bit more of like a serious
skate,
like tone than the Tony Hawk games.
I mean, something like a San Vansterdam, like they play little goofs on skate culture here and there, but it is not an arcade game the way that the Tony Hawk games always were. And I always admired what those games were going for. I did not necessarily find them as fun as the Tony Hawk games, but they really did try to make the tactile feel and physics of doing skate tricks feel more elaborate than just hitting a couple of button combos. It didn't always jive with me, but then again, I was never a very good skater, so that's probably part of why. But I liked that they were making them, and I was very happy that they were making Skate 4. I also had forgotten this was apparently going to have free-to-play hooks into it, but honestly, I have a feeling that's the only way that game was going to get made at EA in this decade.
Probably. I also wonder what they're thinking now because, like, do you remember when Skate 3 blew up?
Yes.
Again?
Yes.
Was it PewDiePie? Like, which streamer?
It was a streamer that got it going again. I forget who it was.
Oh, for the campaign.
I think it was him. I think it was him. Like, because remember, like, Skate 3 like started going back up the charts a few years ago when whichever streamer, again, I think it was PewDiePie, started streaming it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I assume that's what got this greenlit. That was over a long time ago, you know? So, like, I wonder how they're feeling about it now that this game kind of like got memed into existence. It almost feels like, or maybe, you know, maybe I'm assuming too much. Maybe this was already well underway at that point or something. But
well, I think, you know, as a service game, right? Maybe this was the path, like Alex said, for Skate, and it'll be there until it's not, until they turn the servers. It's an always online game.
Yeah.
I don't think I also realized this was a kind of massively multiplayer Skate sandbox.
It's an online world type thing. Yeah. And I have mixed feelings about that. You know, I mean, look, I reviewed SimCity 2013. I know what happens when EA really misses the mark with that kind of thing. But the people who are making Skate 4, I feel like they seem like they at least understand what's good about Skate. And the thing is, the structure of the original Skate games was never really the appeal for me. It was the mechanics. It was the playing of it. And I think if you can apply a Fortnite-like, you know, Battle Pass model to something like this and actually have compelling things to add, that's not the worst thing in the world if it's good. You know, like I think you can do that kind of game in this format well.
Well, guess what? They are doing that.
Yeah.
Seasonal content.
Seasonal soundtrack content, too, on top of everything else.
Skate Pass, yeah. Like it is as online live service as it gets.
So we'll see how it is. I mean, again, it all comes down to how it plays in the end. But yeah. I'm anxious to try it.
Yes.
Monetize the skaters on September 16th.
I promise you, people have been monetizing skaters for a very long time.
Actually, I guess they said if there are real world licensed skaters in it?
They haven't. I don't remember them saying we went and got a bunch of skaters for this, and especially considering Tony Hawk, the remakes, they seem like they've just been pulling in a bunch of people for those.
Right. I mean, that was never really Skate's thing, though, right?
No, they had some licensed skaters, I thought, but that was like, it was never really the framing for it. It was more of like, here's your skate adventure.
See, now, okay, if Skate really wanted to take on the world, Alex, I'm going to ask you this as probably the closest to skate culture that
I own a skateboard. That's as close as I'm getting.
But you're the intersection between skates and knowledge of the video game industry that I know in this room, at least on this podcast, right?
Brad's pulling up a skate deck.
Brad's got the skate deck.
He's got the giant bomb skate deck. I got the one behind me, so.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Brad has two skate decks.
Oh, the American Wasteland.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You went up and then you maybe lost a little cred there.
I mean, it's not the best one. It's not the worst one either.
They're both wrapped in plastic.
Yep.
Like a true collector.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, go on with your point.
My point being, better or worse if this skate went the Fortnite model and you can get like this season you can get Palpatine on a skateboard.
Hell yeah.
Here's Peter Griffin.
Yeah, here's Goku on a skateboard.
I mean, I think I'm torn a little bit just because, like, obviously Tony Hawk has done that before. They've had Spider-Man. They've had, you know, the various other licensed characters that have popped in here and there as guest characters. Was it Lil Wayne in 5? But I think you can do that stuff just fine. Skate's tone was never really that, so I feel like you're doing something inherently different if you end up doing that. But I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if, you know, they say as part of this month's Battle Pass, you get to skate as your favorite character from this year's Star Wars series or something.
John Wick on a
skateboard.
Thanos.
Whatever. Yeah. Like, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. It's not what I'm looking for, but I'm sure that's probably something they are at least entertaining.
I don't think anybody would care. Sometimes I think people would care about stuff, and then they're like, no, man, we don't care. Like,
skate culture is not that serious. Like, it is and it isn't.
Not even skate culture, like video game culture even. Just go monetize, go do it.
Video game culture is the most unserious.
Yeah. Put Wendy on a skateboard from Wendy's. Put the Burger King on a skateboard.
Put Dave Thomas.
All right, I'm back in.
Have him ride a square hamburger.
You know, Dave Thomas. Fuck. Shit. Yeah, I'm a mark. Like, cool spot. The Burger King on a skateboard.
The Noid.
The Noid. Shit.
Grimace.
Yeah.
I'm kind of half surprised Fortnite hasn't added a skating mode already.
They will after this.
Yeah,
they
that's
will after
100%
this,
what I was going to say. If this
game
up.
does any numbers at all.
Yep.
All right. That is Skate's early access date, September 16th. Free. You can go grab it. And also, it's on everything. I'm trying to see the Switch. PS5, Xbox, no, and PC. All right. Next up here, rumor time.
Okay.
Brad Shoemaker.
Yes. This is about Forza Horizon. A reminder that the BDS boycott continues.
Yes. Microsoft. Xbox games, Forza Horizon 6.
Yes.
And it's worth calling attention. There's been some additional reporting this week on some of the stuff that's going on at the protests at Microsoft. You should check it out. Bloomberg did a pretty exhaustive report. It is available other places if you don't want to pay for the paywall at Bloomberg.
Yeah. Yes. But that continues to be worth keeping in mind as we discuss Microsoft properties, such as a potential Forza Horizon 6 set in Japan.
At literally any other time of my life, I would be very excited for this right now.
Yeah.
Not now.
Yes. Not confirmed. The evidence so far is that a car company posted a photo that made it seem like K cars are going to be in the next Forza Horizon, or it was kind of a here's a playground employee like scanning these cars or something, like kind of a tenuous connection. I don't know. Have there been? I had to look up what a K car was. It's a specific type of like Japanese racing car.
Yeah, I've never seen one before, I don't think.
Have they been in previous Forza Horizons?
KEI, right?
KEI, yes.
I don't know.
I'm looking at this now. I don't think I have seen one of these in a Forza Horizon before.
Okay.
But to be fair, they put 700 cars in each of those games, so it's also possible maybe as a DLC thing. I just didn't notice.
Who can keep track? But then Windows Central has also reported that they have it on very good authority that Forza Horizon 6 is going to be announced at TGS, which in my mind is basically confirmation of all of this, because why in the world would you announce the next Forza Horizon at TGS if it's not set in Japan?
Certainly not because of the popularity of Xbox in Japan, I can tell you that.
Yes. So what do you think the play is there? Like,
we're in Japan. Look,
you take on like
because this is your country. We made it so you can drive a car through it.
It's just a big marketing thing. I mean, it's as much for people on the internet internationally watching this as it is for people at TGS. It's just
I guess I mean, like, this is the first time they would be doing this. Usually they do this. I mean, Horizon is not Forza, right? Like Horizon.
Well, now it is, because remember, they don't make regular Forza seemingly anymore.
Remember, they just cut like half of Turn 10 staff.
Oh, yeah.
So like Horizon kind of is Forza now by all appearances.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense.
I'm just a little surprised they're coming back with this one while Fable is still very much in flux. Not necessarily that I think Fable is in trouble or anything, but I was kind of not expecting to hear more from Playground until that game was a little closer to like out.
Yeah, well, they put those out on a pretty steady cadence, don't they? Like,
not exactly. Like, they're not on an every 3-year or 4-year cycle.
Are
but
they not?
Not necessarily, I don't think.
So if this gets announced at TGS, day and date PlayStation 5, we would assume that's
day and date. I don't know.
Day and date. Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, this might be big enough to not do that.
You think, even if you're doing it in Japan?
I think so. Yeah, probably.
I think that's the kicker. I would say that's the kicker. If Microsoft reveals this on some stage at TGS, I think that the real thing is like day and date PlayStation 5 for that audience.
I don't
because
know.
Like otherwise the 3 people who own an Xbox in Japan are going to be like, okay.
Well, but I mean, again, this is still an international.
Of course, I'm being facetious, but you know what I mean.
Well, and I do think PC gaming is bigger in Japan, certainly, than it was like 20, 25 years ago. So if that game came out on PC, I think more people would be able to play it there than, say, like, back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're probably still trying to drive Game Pass subscriptions as much as they can right now. That's
where they got Silksong.
This is probably in that tier of first party that they would want to hold back for a while, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, also, again, worth pointing out, this is not confirmed. This is
none of this. This is all rumor mill stuff, but it does make sense that a new Forza Horizon would be on the horizon.
Yeah. Yes, I'm looking at 2012, 14, 16, 18, and 21. So they've started getting a little bit further apart.
That was around the time between 4 and 5, I think, is when they built out their second studio to make Fable.
Sure. That sounds
their second
right.
team.
Yeah. So yeah, we're 4 years now almost since the last one, since 5. So we do feel
did
due
very well. So I felt like it feels like they probably could have ridden that wave for as long as they wanted to.
Also, I'm going to be real. People you don't see people clamoring for this in quite the same way, but they should do a Forza Horizon in Japan feels like they should do an Assassin's Creed in Japan of racing games. You know what I mean?
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Kind of, but the thing, and I've called attention to this anytime I have talked about a Horizon game, generally speaking, but the entire thing about Horizon is that wherever they go, they are defiling that fucking landscape.
True.
They are doing the worst shit they possibly can, environmentally and spiritually, wherever they go.
I remember it was about the time of 4 that I remember that there are like rocks and bricks flying everywhere. Tech had gotten very good.
All those stone fences, man.
Because you were just plowing through every rock wall in rural England.
Yep.
But I do wonder if a Horizon 6 that took place in specifically Tokyo, but I wonder if you do Japan.
You'd have to go in the countryside. You'd have to.
So it wouldn't just be like wet night street racing. You would have like countryside stuff.
Does Horizon do a lot of urban environments? I guess they do some.
I mean, they put towns in those maps, and like there's usually like a lot of like quest stuff and whatever. But generally speaking, they tend to go for more open areas where they build their little encampments for their EDM concerts and whatnot.
I guess that's part of the reason is that the setting is always, hey, we're at another rave. Like it's always some fucking dance festival, which by necessity has to be out in the country somewhere.
Like, I would do it in Kyoto, honestly. Like, there's enough urban environment around there where you can still get some of your, like, initial D, like, freeway driving type shit. And then you have the beautiful-ass countrysides and the fucking Nintendo rolling hills and stuff. You can drive a car through the fucking monkey park if you want. Like, that, to me, is the ideal location if you're going to do this in Japan.
Interesting. Well,
monkeys
TGS
flinging shit at your fucking CRV.
TGS is about a month away. I think it's the last week in September. I would almost think that at this point, if this happens, maybe we get a leak even before TGS happens that really confirms this. It's a pretty big one.
Almost assuredly, yeah. And Microsoft, not always the tightest ship when it comes to that stuff.
Oh, Microsoft's some kind of ship these days.
Yeah.
All right.
Ship of fools.
Atari. We talked about Atari and Bubsy 4D before.
Yeah.
Atari. Okay. This announcement. Atari making power moves.
Power move. Yes. There's no other way to describe this. We also talked when they acquired Thunderful a few weeks ago about the idea of Atari maybe trying to get into more sort of modern game publishing and not just like entirely focusing on their classic IP.
Right. Which is more the Digital Eclipse kind of bag maybe with their
and that console, that 2600 thing they're putting out and stuff like that. I don't know if this qualifies as modern exactly.
It's such a weird one.
But here's the press release. Atari announces strategic IP agreement with Ubisoft to revive 5 acclaimed titles. Are you ready for the titles?
Yes.
Yeah. Ubisoft acclaimed titles. Let's go. Prince of Persia. We got what else is big on the old Rayman?
Splinter Cell.
Sure. Even Atari doing a Splinter Cell might be
Atari
weird.
now owns Splinter Cell and Prince of Persia and Assassin's Creed, weirdly enough.
Yeah. No, Brad. What are the IPs?
Okay, so Atari now fully owns the rights to these games. 2005's Cold Fear.
Yeah.
2012's I Am Alive, which I don't remember liking at all. 2011's Child of Eden, which to be fair, like that's kind of a big thing. Like that game is basically the spiritual sequel to Rez.
Mm-hmm.
And 2015's and 2016's respectively Grow Home and Grow Up, which those games fucking rule.
Yeah, those are good games.
But also these games are all 20 to 9 years old.
Also so disparate and
such a weird. I had to look up Cold Fear. I couldn't even remember what that was. It looks like kind of a.
Looks like Resident Evil.
Mid-period Resident Evil like.
I have the vaguest recollection of it.
I'm Alive is like some kind of post-disaster survival something.
Yeah.
Like they say, acquired with a view to making them available on new platforms is how this is put.
I think some of these games have been delisted.
Aha.
If I remember correctly.
Interesting.
I don't know if all of them have been, but I think a couple of them may have been delisted from at least some marketplaces, if not all of them.
I did not consider that angle, that maybe they got these extremely on the cheap.
it's not the games that you hear people clamoring for in I mean, Grow Home, I guess. I don't know, Grow Home. I mean, love for Grow Home.
I will play through Grow Home again.
You want to hear my most speculative bullshit on this?
Hit me.
I think Ubisoft was shopping this stuff because they're shopping everything right now.
Yeah, so you're right. I had forgotten. That was kind of the rumor for ages now, right? Is that they did take investment from Tencent, wasn't it? I think.
And I think they're shopping properties they're never going to do again.
That's kind of been the rumor for a while, is they've been looking to offload properties or take investment from people, or X, Y, and Z ways to keep themselves going.
So do you think this is one of those things where, look, I'm got a lot of love for what we did at Giant Bomb, but we have been in this position before where they're like, we want Grow Home and grow up. We want the Grow Home series, maybe Child of Eden. And they're like, all right, we'll throw in Cold Fear, I Am Alive, and Giant Bomb, Giant Bomb with that mix. We'll what else you got there? And like, I guess we okay.
Yeah. It's like, just to sweeten the deal, here's a second round pick and Ben Simmons' an expiring contract. Like it's that kind of like trade logic.
I gave I Am Alive a 2, it turns out.
Okay, well, there's never been a better time to bring out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Out of 5.
Okay.
That's a 4 if you're on the 10 scale.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Atari. Atari's been doing smart plays. This one, I'm curious to see what they do with these franchises. Maybe, Alex, you're right. Maybe it's just kind of
I bet it was a nominal fee.
Or maybe it's like a bureaucratic thing where they just pop up back on the store and it just has Atari attached to it and they don't do much else.
I don't know specifically at all how this might work, but I wonder if there's like a business reason for getting these games off their books in terms of being able to write things off or something. Like there might be some advantageous,
like we never recouped enough from Cold Fear, now we can do a loss.
There might be some bookkeeping reason that this is good for them. I don't actually know at all.
Look, we were talking about mascot platformers, and look, if Atari wants a new mascot and they can't get Pitfall Harry, you could do worse than Bud from Grow Home.
Yeah,
Bud?
True.
Bud.
Yep.
B-U-D.
Grow Home, great game.
Yep.
Like very charming. Yep. Like a doesn't say a lot, but is a charismatic, like a good mascot should. Says nothing and is just very charming. So,
if I may briefly read from the Child of Eden review from one Ryan Davis on GiantBomb.com.
Mm-hmm.
This is just the strap line for the review, and it's one of the best ones I think he's ever written. Child of Eden is Tetsuya Mizuguchi's most fully realized light-speed bioluminescent cyberspace technosynthetic neon air sculpture.
Right, I remember that
it's
line.
also a video game seems beside the point.
I remember that line.
Brian had a real gift.
Beautiful. So yeah, not much more to know or announced with what they're going to do with those games, just that they have their strategic IP agreement.
I mean, I would have assumed if this had not happened that I would never hear from any of those things ever again.
No, absolutely not. Like that could be maybe kind of exciting. Like maybe they will port Child of Eden and the Grow franchise in a way that, makes them look better, or, maybe they do something to those games to like kind of liven them up for 2025.
Yeah.
Which would be exciting.
Yeah. Finally here.
Yes. Speaking of bringing back long lost beloved games.
Yeah, I guess also Atari news, right?
Yeah, actually, yes. Atari doing it, getting talked about.
Yeah, a lot this show. Mortal Kombat and Atari. We've talked about their what is the name of that thing? The
Legacy Collection with a K.
I thought maybe I'd know more about this from that Atari meeting. I did not, but Brad, do you have some news here?
Yes, I try to find. Is this the full roster now? I think
this is the last stuff they're adding.
Have they said
complete?
Yeah,
because remember they also added Mortal Kombat Trilogy after the fact, which was like a week after I said they should put Mortal Kombat Trilogy in there. So thanks for listening, Digital Eclipse.
Yeah, I think this might be the final addition to the roster of games.
Unless they're going to go all the way up to Shaolin Monks, I feel like they have run out of things to put in here.
Yeah, so it's weirdly that game fits into the wheelhouse of these two very well, but I think that's probably a little out of scope for this product because that is actually a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And also is a PS2 game and is just large, and I don't know, maybe that's...
I think if you ever do a PS2 Legacy Collection, which don't, but if you do that, that's where you put that.
What do you got here?
They have announced that Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero and Mortal Kombat Special Forces will be in this game.
They should be. Those games suck ass, but they should be.
It's wild, though, because this very much felt like it was being billed as a collection of fighting games until this announcement.
So I don't know much about these. This is not my era for Mortal Kombat, and I'm not. And I say that as somebody who likes Mortal Kombat, but is not deep into it. What's up with these games? Hey guys, what's up with these games?
Let me take one, you take the other. All right.
I can just save us a lot of time here. They are both legendarily bad.
Yeah.
I mean, like terrible
adventure games,
terrible bad.
Well, okay. So I am an owner of Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. I bought that game for N64.
Great.
It is a side-scrolling action game, and it is one of the worst ever made.
It's bad stuff. And I am somewhat less familiar with Special Forces, but I just pulled up the review scores of the day for it are catastrophic.
Yeah.
3 out of 10 on IGN, a 2.1 out of 10 on GameSpot.
It's an isometric action game, I think.
Next Gen gave it a 1 out of 5. Like, do you know how bad it had to be to get scores like that in the late 90s or in 2000?
Yeah,
pretty bad.
That's some don't play this game territory.
I don't know. I almost feel like these are being included as a joke. Well, or actually, no. I mean, if this thing is as historically minded as the other releases from DE in this vein, like, it's probably important to put those in here to give people a sense of here's how they were trying to build out the franchise and make it more than just a series of fighting games.
Well, totally. I mean, because they're also including MK4 in this collection, and this is the stuff that Mythologies and Special Forces were games that were very much wrapped up in that this is where the next direction of Mortal Kombat is going around Mortal Kombat 4.
Right. So yes, they do have some historical value from that standpoint, but again, it is funny and sad that these are in here and Shaolin Monks is not, because Shaolin Monks legitimately is pretty rad.
I think they're saving that one for a rainy day.
Yeah. Yeah. You could almost see them making that its own release or something, or maybe that'll be DLC for this. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, so sorry to ask this question. If it is not, is Legacy Collection, we've gone over this. It's kind of irrelevant. The semantics of the games. Was it games with gold?
It is not a Goldmaster series game.
So this is these are fairly modern games considering the stuff that has been in those other collections before. Collections with a C, thank you.
Yeah.
The digital clip stuff. Like, these are what, PS1 games? N64 and PS1? For these
PS1 is the highest that they go here, because that's where Special Forces came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in terms of stuff that's on a disc, right? That comes with these things, or quote on a disc, your digital download. That's like a fairly recent thing to include in the timeline series of digital clip stuff.
But again, this is all not to a day, but within the same time frame as MK4. So that seems to be where they are setting the ceiling, is that stuff that came out around the MK4 launch.
So as a piece of archival history here, I assume, and I'm curious here too, but would you guys be way more curious to hear what the people involved in making these games have to say about it on the timeline than actually diving into these games?
Well, yes and no, because they are doing rollback netcode, and I don't think they've gotten into this, but if I were able to see a preview of this game and ask them questions, my questions would be hey, are you building proper leading boards and tournament rankings and stuff around these, or the games people actually care about? Is MK2 going to have proper ranked matchmaking?
Oh, sorry. I meant just for for
those two in particular. No, those are historical curiosities, and I've never actually played either one of them, so I might try them briefly.
But I think hearing if you can get Ed Boon to talk about the development of these candidly and you
can get him to say more. Yeah, we shouldn't have done that. I would like a little elaboration beyond that.
Is Tobias still here?
I think wasn't Tobias there through 4, I thought.
I think he left not long after 4, if I remember correctly, but I could have my timetables mixed up there.
Or did he work on 4 at all? I actually can't remember. He left midway in 99, so...
Yeah, so he did then.
Oh, okay. So yeah, could you get Ed Boon and John Tobias talking about these games?
Potentially.
Maybe. Yeah. Candidly. Maybe Ed Boon is yeah, we're in a weird space, and John Tobias is this is why I left. I did not want to do this.
I mean, I don't know all the particulars, and I'm sure that this game will not get into all of them because some of that stuff is probably personal. But I thought I remembered that one of the things Tobias complained about was he didn't like where they were branching Mortal Kombat out into, but I could be wrong about that.
I think I was looking at the Wikipedia page for Sub-Zero. Designer and Sub-Zero co-creator John Tobias said he was intrigued by the character's backstory and wanted to flesh it out.
Okay.
All right. Let's hear about it.
Was part of the impetus behind making that game.
Let's get into it. Yeah, you're right.
He went and made Tao Feng.
I bet you don't get the real, like, you know, personal
We're not
stuff,
getting an
maybe
unvarnished look at this stuff.
Yeah. But like, it would be interesting to know how some of this stuff goes with them talking about it. Maybe they can laugh about some of it, you know, and look back because.
Well, especially now because that parent company doesn't exist anymore. So any shit they want to talk about Midway or anything else, like, is basically free reign now.
I just wonder where NetherRealm is at on stable footing inside Warner these days, because it feels like nothing is on
those
stable
games
footing.
Sell.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Mortal Kombat is even when they aren't that great, they still sell.
Yeah. Like they're probably not going to get. They're not next on the chopping block, you would assume.
There's a decent chance, and I'm not saying this is how it's going to go down because it may never come to this. But if WB ever starts really paring shit down and really cutting to the bone, I honestly think NetherRealm is probably one of the last studios they would either sell or do anything with.
Absolutely, they are way too valuable to shut down. Like they might get sold off.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Which also could be bad for them depending on the buyer, but.
This is a weird question, but maybe the audience knows too. Anything in your guys' memory that WB has released in the kind of the more modern trend of development teams going independent and keeping their name? Like,
no,
I feel like they're one of those ones that would sell or scrap something, right? Not just like let NetherRealm just go independent.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
I don't get the impression that anyone at WB has any real affection or just general respect for, you know, the legacy of anything.
Right. They'd hold on to whatever they can, and if they can't have it,
it's just assets to them for the most part.
Well, that Legacy Collection, I believe, doesn't have a date yet.
Yeah, I thought it did, but I guess it is still just this year sometime.
They keep adding games. That's why.
I am curious for that myself, but I'm actually more curious to talk to you guys about it with your kind of history with MK.
Oh, I can't wait for this. But again, I really do want to know around those original games what they're doing for online play features beyond, like they've said, rollback netcode and like the basics. But
will MK Trilogy have rollback netcode? That's what I want to know.
Probably. If I can go online, if I can play MK2 in some kind of proper like ranked mode online, this is like, well, I should wait and see how this thing turns out. But like a really good playable MK2 with like proper online features and stuff is like
doesn't exist right now.
No, not at all.
Okay.
What was the last? I cannot remember what the last re-release of that game was. Remember they were doing that full remake of that game that got scrapped. Remember, and some of that stuff leaked.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't it? Didn't some of the media from that leak where they were like shooting?
I don't remember.
They were like shooting new actors for like a proper like HD version of MK2.
I don't remember that.
Is that something I shouldn't be talking about right now?
I don't know. Is that a thing? Was that around the time that like fan movie was made?
I'm not sure.
Like a while ago. I don't know. Those MK movies probably did all right. I bet they did okay.
The first one, like the 95 one, did well, and I think I don't know what metrics they're using for the WB one, but I think that was a well-watched movie, if nothing else. I mean, they're making a sequel.
Yes, yeah. that did get leaked. That was known. Mortal Kombat HD Collection is what that was going to be called.
But they were refilming? They were reshooting people?
Yes, that was the
Supposedly.
word at least.
Wow.
Maybe
That's interesting.
Maybe none of that stuff ever did get out, but I'm looking at it on the...
Hey, maybe that'll be in the collection here.
Maybe they will, yeah. Maybe they'll put some of whatever they shot for that in this thing.
That's a lot of fun if they have some never before seen footage.
Yes, there is a wiki page here with information, whatever information got leaked about this.
Well, that game, again, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is what we're talking about. It is the kind of Atari, Digital Eclipse by way of Atari treatment of this franchise. I look forward to it because I think those packages whether some hit or miss for me, I still think they're amazing. In general. So
I do think it is extremely funny that they have this great, exciting initial announcement of MK1 through 4, rollback netcode, all that stuff. And with each successive announcement, we have added more garbage from Mortal Kombat. We found more garbage. We are shoving it in here. It has historical context. And again, I believe it all belongs there. But every announcement they have done so far has been like, we got Trilogy, the game that's basically a ROM hack.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Mortal Kombat is a franchise with a pretty high garbage to gold ratio.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah.
So, like, if you really want to represent what it was and is, like, probably
it's
important.
Honest. Yeah.
Important to put a lot of that stuff in there.
And I feel like Ed Boon would be the first to acknowledge some of that.
Oh, he knows. He's never been precious about that stuff, I don't think.
Will there be a page inside of this thing, if they can get the rights, or if it's not a weird legal thing and maybe they don't show faces, inside the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection of Mortal Kombat tattoos that have been submitted to Ed Boon?
Mm-hmm.
That would be pretty good.
The personal collection of every Scorpion tattoo that has been submitted, or Mortal Kombat Dragon logo.
I bet there's so many of them
that have been sent to Ed Boon specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, that he must have if he has a folder of them, I would not be surprised of people that are now, I don't know.
Just type those words into Google. You want to see
Mortal Kombat tattoo?
You want to see, just go type Mortal Kombat tattoo into Google. There are, like, you will never stop scrolling. There are so fucking many of these.
I think it's probably, I would say, of the video game tattoos, probably in a top 5,
Probably.
Like a question block is up there, a PAL block might be up there, a lot of Mario stuff.
I'm going to say definitely pretty Sub-Zero and Scorpion dominated, but like maybe not as much as you think. Like definitely.
Pretty good. I'm looking at a pretty good Molina one right now.
Like here's a Kung Lao.
Oh, MK Dragon just showing up a lot?
There's a reptile, like a decent number of the dragons, but not like as many as you'd think.
All right. I would think that's a well represented in the tattoo world.
Mm-hmm. Sure looks like it.
Yeah. All right. Hey, look, if you yourself are listening to this and have your MK tattoo, you can send it to us. Because we are about to end the news and go into the emails, and you can send it to podcast@nextlander.com, podcast@nextlander.com.
Thank God, because I just hit the reptile subsection of this. We have to move on.
Oh man, I bet the reptile subculture is
really something
you don't want to mess with.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No worries. Hey, look, like I said, send them in.
Mm-hmm.
If you thought about getting a MK tattoo, waited too long, and then decided, nah, I'm good.
You're a coward.
I want to know about it. It's never been a better time. Brad Shoemaker, podcast@nextlander.com. We got any emails for this week?
Sure. How about this one from Joe in Nottingham? Nottingham?
What is Joe in Nottingham
in the UK? Do you think the second half of the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection will ever release, and will it have Metal Gear Solid 4 on it? It would be great to have that game more accessible. My favorite memory of MGS4 was from my original playthrough. My girlfriend asked if I was coming to bed soon, and I said I will after I play a little MGS4. I boot up the game, play 30 seconds for my last save, watch a 30-minute cutscene, watch 30 more minutes of game installing, watch another 30 minutes cutscene. Cue my girlfriend asking how I'm getting on. I don't know. I haven't played anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
What a game. It sure was.
Was it the one with Snake smoking?
Oh, yeah.
Or like
it's Old Snake.
Old Snake.
And the super long PS3 install routine. Per disc, if I recall. I can't remember. I think you had to install every time you switched discs, right? That's kind of what he's describing here.
That's what I recall.
Will it come out? Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, that first installment of that Master Collection had its more than its share of problems.
Okay, I don't know about all that.
It came out. It's been almost 2 years now since that came out.
Mm-hmm.
But there were just like some technical issues with the ports. I think that it seems like they may have fixed all that stuff for the most part. Looking at recent user reviews, but I don't know. I'm still not convinced that MGS4 will ever come out on anything ever again.
You just can't do it. The power of the cell processor.
The fact that it still has never been ported to anything. I just don't. Maybe new Konami will finally undertake the effort. I don't know.
This is a broader question. Maybe there's no answer to this, but I kind of feel like big PS3 game remakes or ports have not generally been a thing for the most part. Like, I can think of some PS3 games that have maybe ended up in some collections, but I feel like it's not necessarily ones that were PS3 exclusive.
Sure, it's possible, yeah. I'm trying to think, like, were there a lot of first-party PS3 games that got brought over?
I mean,
there's the Uncharted collection, like, they brought all the PS3 Uncharteds to PS4.
Yeah. There's been some Ratchet stuff, I think.
There has not been a ton, though. You're right.
No, and I'm wondering if that is one of those things where, like, the quirks of the architecture of that system have just made it, like, way harder than it should be.
That's 100% the running theory about MGS4 and why it's never been ported to anything. I mean, the cell absolutely had a pretty esoteric design.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go watch that if you want to hear more about it. Go watch that Uncharted Tech retrospective I did with Cowboy from Naughty Dog on Giant Bomb some years ago. Like, he gets into that stuff somewhat there. I wonder if there's like a lost code, lost assets situation with MGS4 to any degree.
Could be.
Like, that game was, like, you heard stories all the time. And in fact, some Japanese publishers have straight up gone on the record about this. We've talked about it on the show not that long ago about it was straight up standard procedure in the late 90s, early 2000s to just like toss all the shit you used to make the game after the game came out.
Mm-hmm.
MGS4 was a little bit later than that, but like maybe there's like missing stuff.
Could be.
That would make that really, you can reverse engineer anything with enough effort. But
maybe there's a Kojima special deal that they made that they can't resolve.
Maybe.
I mean, that was a pretty popular.
Yeah,
that was kind of height of Metal Gear, right?
That was definitely a fucking huge release from a hype perspective.
Yeah, so maybe there's like some kind of like deal that has to be ironed out with whatever Kojima was to make that game, wanted to make that game, and between Konami and
I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah, I would not bet on it.
Okay.
Until we see something to the contrary, honestly. But on the other hand, like, what else is that thing? Like, why would they call? Well, actually, did they call it Volume 1? Yes, they did.
I thought they did.
I thought they did.
Yes, it is called Volume 1. So, like, why would you call that collection Volume 1 if you're not intending to do a Volume 2? And why would you do a Volume 2 if you're not putting MGS4 in it?
I don't know.
Well, you
what
can't.
Else? What else? What else? Yeah. What else even is a Volume 2?
It's 5 in Ground Zeroes, right? Like, that's it.
And then, like, some of the handheld games, like
Acid in Volume 1?
Like, even Acid is not technically a solid game, but I think you should still put it in there. And there's
totally.
Like,
Revengeance.
There's, like, Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel for Game Boy Color. Like, there are other games, but like, it extremely invites the question if you put out a Volume 2 without that game, like, why are you doing this? So I don't know. Now you've sowed the seed of doubt in me. I went from a solid yes to a I don't know.
A less solid.
Less solid. Brad, you got another email?
You went from solid to liquid.
Here's a quick one from Diego.
Okay.
In South America.
Uh-huh.
He says, I am a big Dead Space psycho.
All right.
Okay.
Should I buy the Callisto Protocol for $4?
Yes.
For $4? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yes.
Dead Space is the only game franchise I've replayed multiple times, and I've beaten all 4 games on max difficulty. It's $5 for the deluxe edition. Also, he points out
for sure.
I have to say, pay the extra buck, get the full thing.
Dog, you can't even buy a burrito supreme at Taco Bell for $5 anymore. Like, what are we doing here?
That game's not bad.
I like that game. I feel like it got kind of shit on a little bit. I really enjoyed that game.
But for that kind of money, I mean, honestly.
Yeah, yes. It is okay. It is extremely enough Dead Space for you to get something out of it. It's not exactly Dead Space, although it absolutely has a lot of very serious similarities.
Mm-hmm.
The combat is somewhat different, though.
Yes.
Combat is much more melee focused and a bit punch out. It's not the pure shooter with stomping of a Dead Space.
But I think atmosphere wise, you're gonna get your Dead Space fill.
Atmosphere, like health bar built into your suit.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff, like very much feels like a Dead Space game. And I actually liked the combat quite a bit. I know it didn't click for everybody necessarily. But
also don't remember it being super long. Yeah.
It's definitely finishable. It's like a 15, 20 hour game if I remember. They do hide the in fact, if the DLC is in that $5 special edition, buy the special edition because they put the actual ending of the game in the DLC.
even remember the DLC. I don't think the DLC.
I don't think either of us played it. I've always kind of thought about going back and playing it. Okay. Like the game ends, but it ends definitely on a bit of a cliffhanger.
Okay.
And then apparently they just full on wrap that whole situation up in the DLC.
Got it.
So anyway, I feel like that game deserved a little bit better than it got.
A little bit.
Speaking of wrapping situations up, you want to wrap up the emails? Or should we take another?
Let's call it there.
All right. Those are the emails. Again, you can send the emails in to us at podcast@nextlander.com. And that is going to wrap this podcast situation up. Man, I am just getting so many weird spam text messages that are just like, what is this one that just came in here? Live spam check with Vinny.
All right.
I'm finalizing some reports by tomorrow at the office.
Uh-huh. The office that we all work in.
I got another one. These are not from the same person. Did you receive the drawings I sent you? What is going on?
Did you?
Well, did you?
Yes, I did, and they were terrible. I couldn't even tell what the fuck this is. Is what I should just respond.
I'm starting to get like image spam now.
Oh no!
Somebody just texted me a photo of some like job flyer or something or whatever it is they're trying to. Okay. It's just like you're not even trying to pretend that this is a legitimate text message.
I don't have the time to type LinkedIn this job. You could make $7,000 a day. Oh my God. Anyway, that's going to do it for this podcast. We are also wrapping up not only this podcast, we'll be wrapping up the summer of Star Trek soon with the Watchcast.
Indeed.
Alex, what is on the slate and how much of that slate remains?
All that remains at this point is 2 more episodes, one more podcast. The episode for episodes 23 and 24 is already up on the Patreon. And we are up to the finale, which has a fun bit in it that all I will say is I forgot about this part of it. And then as I was watching the episode, I went, boy, this is really obvious when you know it. We'll talk about it when we get there. But those episodes are coming up on the Watchcast next week. And I have to imagine, since we are doing a Patron's Choice this week, that we will also probably be wrapping up Judgment Rights next Friday.
That's right. At the start of what I consider fall, not technically, but emotionally, in September.
Yes.
We will have more news on what comes after our Summer of Star Trek series during the episode in which we finish up.
Yes.
So, Alex, but for the folks listening, do you have a broad idea of movies? We're going back to a movie.
We will definitely be going back to movies. I have a couple of ideas, one of which isn't technically movies, at least for September. But but it's, again, we have to talk through this stuff still, so we haven't made any decisions. But there was one suggestion that was made in our Discord that I at least want to put to you guys and see what you think. Love it.
Yeah, we have not decided yet, but I'm curious to see what comes next.
And then in October, scary movies are back.
It's always scary movies.
Yeah.
Now, how scary are the scary movies?
What kind of scary? We still have to figure it out.
I still am not. I'm waiting to see if it comes up. But those Final Destination movies, at some point, I would like to try one and see what happens there. I have held off for many years, and then since we started doing the Watchcast, I thought, man, maybe someday we'll do something in there with a Final Destination, and I should wait. Like the VHS stuff we did, which was enlightening for me. All right, that's the Watchcast. You can check that stuff out over on the Patreon. We'll have never been a better podcast going up at the end of the week. Also on the Patreon, we've got the Ramblecast on the Patreon. Bunch of stuff there. We'll have our Planorama, where we go over September's releases going up. That'll be, I haven't recorded it yet, but that'll be going up in early September. And I'll tell you what, September is filling out, as is October with video games. So plenty to talk about there. All of that stuff over at patreon.com/Nextlander, where you can find a tier that is right for you. And Patreon has again changed some of their back-end stuff. So when I read these names of our mysterious benefactors, they are now in alphabetical order.
What?
Yes. When I download the CSV.
Can you just move Tyler Treese to the end?
You will be happy to know Tyler Treese still at the end of the list, just because of alphabetical order. So if you want to find a tier that is right for you, go to patreon.com/Nextlander. If you have it within your means or would like to support us at the Mysterious Benefactor tier, and your name starts with something after Tyler's name, I'll tell you what. You can throw your hat. Throw your hat in the ring. No guarantees. I will not end with Tyler Treese every show. I'm just saying. Just saying. All right. Our mysterious benefactors for this week are Alex Wu, Alpha Rhythm, Andrew Slosky, Andrew Tiebkin, Brian Murphy, Brian Lucier, Bunny Fiends, Good Friend Yabs, David Campos, David L, Detective Deidre, Fish Crimes Division, Edward Chick, Evan Cook, Gary Pejke, Infelicitous Rips, It Me JP, Jad Rita, Jason Grimm, Jerry Lee, John Hubbard, Kelly F., Mark Wilhelm, Matthew Herrig, NXL Retirement Fund, Randy Alderson, Randy Duax, Robert Fisher, RRE, Sean Miller, Sending Good Vibes on the Internet, Skywarp, Statics, Steve Lynn, and of course, Tyler Treese. Those are our mysterious benefactors for this week. Again, in alphabetical order this time. If you go in, I'm going to say, if you go in and you change your name to get underneath Tyler Treese, just to get underneath him, no, can't do that.
Illegal.
Illegal play. You put a yellow card on the play.
Not happening on this show.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for supporting us. Thank you, our mysterious benefactors, and thank all of our patrons over at patreon.com/Nextlander. Thank you for supporting us over on our various podcasts, YouTube, Twitch, all the other things, sending good vibes as always. This week, we mentioned it before, but we played some FMV stuff on Tuesday. On Monday, we continued with Abiotic Factor.
Yeah, that game
I still really enjoy playing and building out our base with Will Smith. On Friday, we have our Patron's Choice. When you hear this, the poll might be over, but it might still be open. But you can check out all the stuff there we have going up. There is a chance, a strong chance, if you go vote also, that Brad could be trying to finish Ninja Gaiden.
Seems like it's the old one.
The old one.
Not the new one.
The arcade version?
No, NES.
NES, okay.
I don't know if arcade is finishable without you could just pump quarters into it forever. I don't know if arcade games were not meant to be finished.
No. Meant to take your money.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that could be on Friday. And programming note, we will be not streaming on Monday. There will be a watchcast going up, like we said, the end of the Star Trek stuff. And so we will be not streaming for, Labor Day?
Yeah.
I think it's Labor Day on Monday here in the States. All right. I think that's going to wrap up our show. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Alex Navarro.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad Shoemaker.
Thank you.
And we'll be back next week.